power of life and death lies within our words. I encourage you to be mindful of your words. Help me welcome the Music and Arts Global Mass Choir.
Greetings, saints, and welcome once again to Living in the Word, where I am your host and pastor, Reverend Lionel Mingo. Now, today I want to look at Exodus, the 4th chapter, and look at the 2nd verse. It says, "And the Lord said unto him, What is in thine hand? And he said, A rod." Now, I want to use a text this evening. What is in your hand? Now, Moses was standing before God, filled with, for the lack of a better word, excuses. You know, God called him to lead Israel out of Egypt, but Moses kept focusing on his lacks, the lack of his what he could do versus what God wanted him to do, and he said, "I'm not good enough. I'm not a good speaker. I'm not the right person." And the Bible tells us that Moses suffered from a stuttering problem. So he felt that I wouldn't be good enough, Lord, if you want me to do it. So he made excuses versus doing what God called him to do. God simply asked him a question: "What is in your hand?" And Moses answered, "A rod, just a shepherd's staff, which is about so high, to herd the sheep along, if you would." Not just an ordinary stick, though. This was a shepherd's staff. Nothing special, nothing outlandish, just a rod. But God was about to use that ordinary rod to do extraordinary things. God is amazing when he does that. God wants us to not focus on what we don't have, but what we do have. Most people spend their lives looking at what they lack. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough experience. I don't have enough talent. All these are just excuses. You know, I was once told that excuses are a sign of failure. Moses was doing the exact same thing. But God wasn't asking he wasn't asking Moses about what he didn't have. God asked, "What is in your hand?" Sometimes we're so focused on what we don't have that we miss what God has already gave us. God uses ordinary things. The rod wasn't impressive by no means. It was just ordinary. It wasn't expensive by no means. It wasn't powerful by itself. But when God touched it, everything changed. That same rod turned into a serpent. That same rod parted the Red Sea. That same rod brought water from a rock. Amen. The miracle wasn't in the rod. No. The miracle was in God and Moses' obedience. Never underestimate what God can do with ordinary things. See, your greatest resource may be already within you. Many people are waiting for something new, but often the answer is already nearby. Your gift, your experience, your knowledge, your testimony, and your willingness, i.e., obedience. What if the thing you've been overlooking was the very thing God wanted to use? Think about it. God doesn't need perfection, because Moses wasn't perfect by no means. Moses had doubts. Moses had fears. Moses, he even had weakness. Yet God still used him too many people think, I'll start when I'm perfect. The truth is, nobody starts perfect. God works through willing people. Stop making excuses, if you would. At some point, Moses had to stop explaining why he couldn't, and he had to start trusting God. Many people have delayed their future because of excuses. Fear seems or sounds reasonable. Doubt sounds reasonable. But eventually, faith requires action. The rod represents what God has already given you. Moses represented people who doubted themselves. God's question reveals that the answer may be already closer than you think. God wasn't asking because he didn't know. All wise, all seeing, all knowing God. He was asking because Moses needed to see what he already had. So this week, if you would, as you do this week, let's start this week. Let's stop focusing on what's missing and appreciate what you've already been given. Use your gifts. Take the step instead of waiting for perfect conditions. God can do extraordinary things through ordinary people. And finally, God isn't asking what's in someone else's hand. He's asking what's in yours. Amen. This is Reverend Lionel Mingo saying thank you so much for your time. Continue to support our ministry if you would. We're doing bigger and greater things. Living the Word is taking off. And I'm just so excited for what God is doing with this ministry. I'm getting emails from all over the country saying how well they appreciate what we're doing. And we thank you for your support. Amen.
One of these mornings